Always look forward to our annual training camp visit with the Cowboys starting quarterback, and you can't help but come away impressed with Dak Prescott in so many ways. He worked hard to get in great shape this offseason. His playing weight last year was 235. Says he's around 225 right now after getting all the way down to 217 at one point this offseason. Well, you're looking great. You're looking trim. You're looking fit. Now, is that because of the yogurt or the chunky soup?
I'd say the yogurt to start off with in the morning, and then go in the lighter version of the chunky soup. So. But you know, soup plays a big part in it.
All right. 2 years ago this week, Kellen Moore broke his ankle in practice. 3 weeks later, Tony Romo breaks his back. Okay, you're now the franchise quarterback, face of the franchise. All right, rank these in order. Most likely to have happened. Kellen Moore's now your quarterback coach. Tony Romo's the #1 analyst at CBS, or Jason Witten's on Monday Night Football. Which is most likely to have happened?
That's tough. That's a tough decision. I don't know about that one. I mean, maybe the Tony or the Jason did, just on the fact because they both are great and amazing professionals, and you knew whatever that they decided to do next, they'd be great at.
All right, you are the face of the franchise. You're on the media guide. Troy Aikman's third year in the league, he was on the media guide as well. What's the best and the worst thing about being the quarterback of America's team?
I mean, yeah, the best thing is just the platform. Obviously, the platform that I have to inspire and motivate and to get my story and to get any story there is out to so many people. But that also can be the worst thing because. As we all know, you can get a lot of backlash for things you say, things you do, and you live in a glass house. So it's important, but I always tell people the good outweighs the bad.
I thought it was great the way you handled all the national anthem questions this training camp. Were you surprised by the negative backlash that you got?
No, I wasn't. Anytime you start to discuss and you talk and you tell your opinion or have an opinion on a controversial situation as we do as protesting the anthem, you're going to get backlash, and you can't be right either way it goes. So there's going to be people that disagree, and there's going to be people that agree. So I knew going forward, going into that media interview, that I was going to say some things that people didn't agree with.
You talked about making this country better in other ways. How about what LeBron James did opening this I Promise school in Akron?
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, that's actions that all athletes, all people with money and that have the ability to make such a difference as LeBron is doing should take in accountability and think about how can I do anything of that imagination, honestly, because it's so incredible and it's so powerful what LeBron is doing, that if people can even do a tenth or a piece of that or help out on what he's doing, we know we're better in our country.
As this camp started, you posted a picture of yourself coming on the field at training camp, tunnel vision. How difficult is it to have tunnel vision in your position?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough, but that's a fun challenge for me, because I know right now, as going into training camp, the only thing I need to worry about is my teammates, this organization, and how we can get better at playing football. And so right now it's all about football, and that's just what the tunnel vision meant, is that focusing in on one thing with a lot of other things going around on the outside. It's about how I continue to stay focused and make sure my teammates stay focused, that we get better.
People think that you have pressure on you, and they look at onto the future and the big contract that might be in your future. How do you deal with that?
I take it one day at a time. And right now it's about going out there and being the best I can today, and in red zone practice and the things that we're going to work on today situationally, so I can just get better at that. And I know if I keep that same mindset and have tunnel vision as well on that, and focusing on one step, one day at a time, that it's all going to come together.
What do you think was a big difference between year one and year two for you?
There was a lot. I mean, there was a lot of change, but I think the biggest difference in my play is year one, I allowed the game to come to me. I was just playing within the system, playing with everything, taking what the defense gave me, where year two, I felt like at times I tried to make too many plays and try to do too much, and I got myself in trouble.
New faces on this coaching staff and on this team. How about Chris Richard, the new defensive passing game coordinator? He seems to motivate the defense. Does he motivate the offense, too? In practice the other day, he kind of came up to you at one point.
Yeah, definitely. He's an exciting coach, and when you have a coach with that brings that attitude, brings that fire, and brings that spirit, you know the guys that he coaches, and you know the guys that he encounters every day, that's contagious, and they're gonna come with some of that. So our defensive backs, they bring it as well. But as you said, when a coach is out there and he has that fire, it's only right to give it back to him sometimes. As you said, you saw the other day at practice.
What did you say to him?
You know, it was just a little friendly. Friendly fire going on there, you know, between his defense and our offense.
All right, and your receiving core, obviously, you look at Tavon Austin, Allen Hurns, Michael Gallup, and even Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley. It seems like the one thing they all have in common, they've got something to prove.
Exactly. It's me as well, and I think this whole team does. Anytime you're coming off of a year like that and you have so much turnover and change within the players, and not only that, as you said, within the coaching staff, that we all have something to prove, and that's what's been fun, and that's what's allowed us to come into this training camp with so much energy. And as I said, that's why it's so important going into each and every practice, taking it one practice at a time and just continuing to get better, because it's a lot of new faces, and we've got a long way to go, but it's so fun just working and grinding every day with all these guys that have the same goals.
And why will this year be different than last year?
Just as I said, we have such a young team, such a different team that we all are ready to prove what we need to, and just to go out there and not only prove it to other people, but prove it to ourselves and prove it to the teammates that we have, and we're excited just to have a great year.
Bold prediction?
We're going to have a great year.